I know exactly, no, I know. I know it's a hard return, so like this.
Pleasure to welcome Raheem Sterling as the player of the English team and the coach Gareth Southgate aside of me. For the press conference, just remember we have simultaneous translations in the 3 languages. They are indicated on the wall over there. Channel 1 is English, Channel 2 is Portuguese, Channel 3 is Dutch. Okay, for the questions, I want you to wait for a minute because Gareth Southgate wants to start the press conference with a short message.
Yeah, just to say that we're delighted to be here in Portugal for the first Nations League finals. We've really enjoyed the competition. It's been some fantastic matches and some brilliant nights for us and our supporters already. So we're looking forward to 2 more of those. And I'm delighted Raheem is with me because tomorrow he's going to win his 50th cap for his country, which is a fantastic achievement. So, I think it was important to bring him to be able to speak about that. And it's fitting given the season he's had as well. So I'm really delighted for him.
Okay, and I was informed you can raise questions to both of them. It's not first one and then the other. You can come. Just tell us always in the beginning for whom the question is. Let's start with the gentleman on top.
Gareth, it's Rob Dorset from Sky Sports News. Good to see you. How important is this game, this competition, for England's progression?
Well, we know, of course, in the batting order is World Cup, European Championship. We now have a new competition which has been only the best 12 teams in Europe could enter in our division. We're through by right through a really difficult group, as are the other teams in it. So we want to be in the habit of starting to win things. Last summer we didn't have a free hit at a World Cup because when you play for England there's no free hit at anything. But there was less expectation, but we weren't as far progressed as a team. Now I feel that we've gained confidence from going to the semi-finals. We didn't want that to be the end of it. We felt that we've got players who are capable and hungry to go on and start to win things. So we always want to be at the latter stages of tournaments where the big games are and the opportunity to win trophies. And that's what this tournament provides over the next few days.
It's been a difficult build-up for you logistically, maybe especially so for Harry Kane because of his injury problems. What are you thinking about whether he will start this game against the Netherlands?
Well, it's been a strange or a different sort of preparation, but every time you get together with international team, there's always complications of some sort. In March, we lost 8 players with injury. Young players came in and played brilliantly. So we've shown incredible adaptability and resilience as a team over the last 2 years in particular. I think in terms of where the players are at, I've got to assess all of the players that were involved in Madrid because it's a unique game, unique set of circumstances, whether you won or lost, the emotion of it, the physical implications, the fact that the players only arrived on Tuesday and there's a lot of tactical work that's been going on. So I've got to assess them all. The good thing is that they're pretty much all available. We've got to check on Jordan Henderson tomorrow. But everybody else came through the game with no physical issues, which was really pleasing for us.
And it's difficult to ask you while Raheem's sitting alongside you, but there's been some discussion, even from Raheem's PR people, I think, about whether he's going to captain the side tomorrow for his 50th cap. Can you confirm either way for us?
Well, if I confirm anything about the team other than that Raheem's playing, then I'm doing half of Ronald's job for him. So I don't want to discuss the captaincy, only that if I tell you, basically Harry Kane is our captain. If Harry Kane doesn't play, then I have a decision to make. But if I tell you Harry Kane's the captain tomorrow, then I'm giving Ronald half the team as well. So at this moment in time, I'm not prepared to do that.
Okay, Okay, the lady just aside. Yes, please.
Hi, Gareth. What did you make of the way Harry played in Madrid, particularly in the way Van Dijk, obviously, who will be important tomorrow, in the way that he dealt with him?
Well, it's not. I don't think it's for me to comment on club performances in an individual game, because that then leads me into talking about other coaches and other players, and they're not my team. So, of course, I was at the game. I wanted to see the game with our own observations on how that game played out. But, the only thing I would say was that a lot of the service that went into Harry wasn't, he wasn't favourite when it was arriving with him or in his area. So there are many factors in the game for both sides the other night. The brilliant thing from an England point of view, we had a lot of English players playing in a massive occasion. Both teams, of course the Dutch could clap their players in the hotel. That was a bit more sensitive for ours, but as a group of players and staff, we wanted to congratulate both sets of players, because to get to a Champions League final is an immense achievement. To play in it is a wonderful memory for all of those guys. Both teams had brilliant seasons in that competition, and of course we're very proud for the boys that won it, because that's something that will live with them forever. So we've, I think, addressed that and acknowledged their achievement in embracing them back into our camp.
Raheem, you're just 24 and you're going to pick up your 50th cap. Just tell us your emotions, first of all, at picking up a half century for England. And also, if you could go back and give a piece of advice to your 17-year-old self making your debut against Sweden, what would you say?
I feel, growing up and, watching a lot of England games, you always had a dream to play for England, but I never thought one day I would be able to say, if the manager picks me or not, that'll be within a chance to make my 50th cap. And, it's a massive achievement for me. And it's something that, I'll cherish for the rest of my life, and so will my family. And to my 17-year-old self, I'd say just keep going, keep enjoying your football and keep learning. And that's the most important message, really.
Okay, gentleman over there, yes.
Raheem, can I just ask you, it's an amazing achievement to reach 50 caps at 24. Do you look at the other guys who have won, sort of the century of caps and so on like that, and almost have them in your sights, and what does that sort of do for your self-confidence that, you're in that sort of territory now?
Yeah, as I said before, it's a massive achievement, but, with the national team now, it's, it's time to try and challenge for some trophies, and I think this is a great opportunity for us to really show how we're building as a team, what Gareth's put in place for us, and how we set up. I think it's, remarkable how far we've come, and we've still got a long way to go, but I have full belief with the squad of players that we have. And I just, need to try to make sure I'm available and fit every time when I go back to my club to hopefully can keep winning more caps and hopefully make more appearances.
It feels as if you took a massive step forward in terms of your England career after that Spain game. What did that do for your confidence and maybe even bring out your sort of kind of club performances in an England shirt?
Yeah, it was a massive moment for me. I'll be totally honest with you. 17 years of age, 18 years of age, I wasn't really looking at my goals to stat ratio. It was more about enjoying and try to be free. And it's only recent in the last year or so that I kind of realised how bad my record was for England, and going into a World Cup, I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to try and end that drought, and I don't think that was a good thing to do. And just slowly, I just focused along with the manager and the coaching team to try and get it right. And I'm just really glad I've been able to break that duck, and hopefully I can carry on and keep pushing.
Thank you. Then we go to the lady on this side, please.
Gareth, Ronald Koeman has got a new renaissance in this Dutch side, and he said the blueprint was very much from you and in what you've done with this team. What's that like to hear?
I think we obviously played them in their first game, and you can see the progress they've made. They've got the similarities would be that there are some really exciting young players in both teams. So both teams want to play good football. I think the Dutch have always been that way. I've always been a huge admirer of the way they have played with the ball from when I was a kid growing up. I loved watching them play. That team with Gullit and Van Basten and Rijkaard and Ronald as well. So that was a special team to be able to watch. And we're trying to create a team that excite our fans, that our fans look forward to watching. But also we want to win. So we're managing to do both at the moment, and that's what we've got to do over the next 4 or 5 days as well to keep progressing.
Raheem, you talked about the pressure you put under yourself. Of course, there's the goals you score, but you contribute much more than that for England. But was that performance against Spain in Seville a real highlight for you and a turning point? And what are your England flashback moments, if you think over your career?
Yeah, it was definitely, as I said, a massive turning point for me to be able to break my duck, as I said before. And, I think a massive highlight for me is definitely being part of that World Cup squad, to be able to, go so far in the tournament, but also disappointing not to try and go the full way. But it's definitely a learning curve, and it's something that we'll take into this game tomorrow.
Let's go here. Yes.
Hello, Sterling. We are live for Sport TV here in Portugal. How special would it be to face your teammate Bernardo Silva in the final? And have you talked with him about this Final Four here in his country?
Yeah, we spoke briefly at the club, and it's just typical teammate stuff. Just a joke and a laugh, and to say who's going to be scared and whatnot. But I haven't spoken to him since I've been with the national team. Now it's strictly down to business, really. We'll speak after the game and see it from there.
Okay, let's then go here and afterwards over there.
Hi, I'm Antonio from Jogo in Portugal. In this UEFA Nations League Cup, there is Sterling, Van Dijk and Bernardo Silva, 3 of the nominees for best player in the Premier League. How do you feel about this, Gareth? Gareth.
To me, the standard of the Premier League is, increasing every year. We've seen the quality of the top teams. Liverpool had an incredible season, lose one game and lose the league, which tells you how phenomenal Manchester City have been. 4 teams in the finals of European competitions. The financial power of the league means that we've got some of the best players and some of the best coaches in the world playing in the league. So it is a brilliant league for our players to play in when they get the chance. And it shows the standard, because for somebody like Raheem, he's training with those top players every day. There's what you learn from coaches, there's what you learn yourself, but also testing yourself against good players every day is a brilliant way of improving. So I think the fact those 3 are nominated just highlights the strength of the division.
You're one of Gareth's leadership group. We know that, and obviously you're up here speaking. If whether it be tomorrow or whether it be a time in the future, would you feel comfortable captaining the side if Harry were out? And do you feel now prepared for that?
That's something that is down to the manager. That's not for me to decide. But if the manager did do that, that's something that I'd do proudly and happily, for sure. But as I said, it's something that I'd definitely leave to the manager.
And Gareth, can I just ask you? It would seem unthinkable a few years ago that we could even contemplate being able to rest or rotate players who are of a quality who are in a Champions League final. So what does that say about the quality and the trust you now have within your squad that you're able to make that decision? Yeah,
I think when I took over, I remember talking about how everything had fallen on Wayne Rooney's shoulders, and whenever we'd been to major tournaments, I was in Japan when everything was around David Beckham and would he be fit, and we had to build a team where we weren't reliant on one player or a couple of players, that the burden was shared, that people carried the baton at different times, and that we had competition for places and strength in depth, because motivation comes from wanting to win, but also knowing that there are players that can come in and play and take your place. But also then the collective strength of the team. We've got huge trust in all of the players, and there isn't a player in the squad that I would hesitate to put in. They've all played in important matches. Pretty much all of them have played important matches for us. We went to Spain and very early performances for Joe Gomez, Ben Chilwell, Harry Winks. So, these youngsters come in, they never cease to surprise us, and you never know what they're capable of until they're given the opportunity, and I think they've thrived on that.
Okay, so let's go to this side.
Hi, Sterling. Here from your right side, Sterling. Hi.
Sure.
I'm Marcelo Beckler from Esporte Interativo Brazil. I want to ask you, Neymar is about to play a huge competition and he's passing through a situation now in Brazil. You as a player, I want to give me your experience. Can you let your problems behind and go to the pitch and only think about football?
I think you can do it to a certain extent, and I feel going into a massive tournament like that, it will be slightly at the back of his mind. But as a professional, you've got to be able to press that reset button and clear your mind to be able to do the best you can for your national team. And I think with the level that he's at and the standard that he sets himself, I'm sure he'll go there with a clear mind and try to give his best for his country.
And Gary, I want to ask you a question too. You have 4 players that have just lost the UEFA Champions League final. How is it you to handle with that, to try to get there up and to play another semi-final and then a final in the 4 days?
Yeah, it's a brilliant challenge as a manager to have 7 players arrive and need to integrate them in with the group really quickly. But our team is so close that there's huge respect amongst all of them. There's big motivation for the guys that lost. Of course, it's a massive disappointment for them, and that's going to take a long time to recover. We had that ourselves last summer, but also they're mentally tough enough to be able to park that and sacrifice themselves again for the country and for their teammates here. The most important people are the players alongside them, and they're ready. They wouldn't have turned up if they weren't ready for that challenge. It would be an easy tournament to pull out of, but they're all desperate to be here and they want to be part of a successful team.
On top, yes, please.
Raheem, I appreciate Gareth is trying to keep his cards close to his chest, but can you explain what prompted the PR company that represent your management company to put that statement out last night saying that they did think you were going to be captain tomorrow?
I couldn't tell you that, to be honest with you. I woke up this morning fuming. I haven't had a conversation with Gareth. I haven't had a conversation with anybody in my agency. So it was kind of a strange one for me to wake up to that and see that. So first thing I'd done after coming off the phone to my agent was seeing Gareth down the hallway, luckily. And, I had to kind of apologise to let him know on my behalf. I don't know where this has come from. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's go over here again, please.
Yep. Are you here with me here on the right hand side? Yes. Hi, Gareth. Just a quick one on the Tottenham players, because you mentioned the emotion, the extreme emotional contrast for the players that came into the group at the weekend, the Liverpool and Tottenham players. For the Tottenham players who went through last summer, who haven't been able to cross the line in cup competitions or Premier League with their club, how significant would winning this tournament be for those guys in particular? And you have 2 others as well in Trippier and Winks who aren't part of the group but might be going forward. What would that represent, just getting those players across the line by winning a tournament with England?
It's not for me to talk about Tottenham. It would be massive for all of us in an England shirt to be able to start winning trophies, continuing to win big matches. that's the habit we want to create. That's the expectation we want to create, and we've got players that are so hungry to do that. They're no longer happy to just come and perform and play well, and they've got high expectations. They're getting used to winning with their clubs. We're starting to develop a winning mentality with the national team. We expect ourselves to play well and to win matches, and we're doing that more often than not. The great challenge for us over the next few days is, can we do that in a semi-final tomorrow? And that's a challenge we're looking forward to. It's not one that we're worried about. It's a brilliant opportunity, and you want to be involved in these games. So no matter which club the players are at, we've got lots of players at clubs that haven't got to finals yet. So it's just as important for all of those guys to experience it.
Okay, so let's turn here. Yeah, first row.
Evening, Gareth. Virgil van Dijk's got this air of invincibility, authority. He's got an aura about him at the moment. How do you chip away? How can you get at a player who's playing with that kind of confidence?
Well, he is a top defender. I've thought that since I saw him at Celtic. I was amazed that one of the top six didn't take him earlier. But all defenders, every player has strengths and every player has things that can be exposed. And our challenge is, he's not on his own. He's got a very good young partner with him as well tomorrow. Our challenge is to break down those defences and to try to expose weaknesses that the Dutch might have. And that doesn't change for any opponent or any opposition. He's had a fantastic season. But as has been said, we've got players who've had fantastic seasons as well. So we're enjoying plotting that. We're enjoying working through that. But we're playing a very good team, not just one player, and we've got to be prepared for the whole team and whatever changes they might make during the game as well.
Raheem, congratulations on reaching 50 caps for your country. Can I just ask, what have been the most challenging moments, the toughest times of your England career, and how you overcame them?
Probably pre-tournament World Cup this summer, last summer, sorry. Regarding my tattoo on my leg. It was coming off the back of a season that I thought I'd done well, and I was really looking forward to going into the tournament on a positive note, and to get this kind of backlash was kind of a really down moment for me, and I was trying to pick myself back up from there. But yeah, it's one of those, you learn and you go again. How did I?
Yeah, when you said you had.
Yeah, as I said, after the World Cup, switch off and get back my focus and go again for the club and try to play the football that I know I can play, and not really try to dwell on the past.
Okay, your neighbour, yes, next one.
Gareth, what you just said about Wayne Rooney and about that one talismanic figure, isn't that actually the most eloquent argument for resisting the temptation to rush Harry Kane back all the time from injury, as often seems to happen?
I think all managers have, really difficult decisions to make on selections when you've got top quality players who have won you so many matches. There's obviously an even bigger temptation to do that. So, and you make decisions on the evidence in front of you. If you're at a club, you're seeing players every day, you're working with them every day, you know where they're at. That's a little bit different for us because we have less evidence, and you have to make judgments slightly differently. You look at previous performances with England when you're selecting, you look at club form, you look at what you believe players are capable of. So there's many factors that go into selecting a team, but we've got to prepare a team for tomorrow night that we believe can cause the Dutch the maximum problems that we can, and expose possible weaknesses that we see, with the mentality that whoever's in the shirt has huge belief and huge trust from us as a coaching staff.
Okay, so then
over here.
No, let's go up there. Yes.
Okay. Fox Sports Netherlands. You played against Holland 1.5 years ago. Ronald Koeman said this afternoon on the press conference, well, maybe both teams are more on the same level right now. Maybe because you had a very difficult preparation. What do you think about it? Will it be a different game tomorrow?
Well, I think that was a good game. We were amused afterwards because everybody talked about it's the worst Dutch team for 20 years. But we were seeing Van Dijk, De Ligt, Wijnaldum, Depay. So it wasn't how we saw it, but definitely they've improved over the last 18 months. Ronald is a very experienced and outstanding coach. So I'm not surprised that they've improved, because also he's got huge experience of international football and what that entails. But we've also improved. So tomorrow will be a snapshot of where the two teams are at this exact moment in time, and I think it's going to be a really exciting game. You know, it's going to be the stadium looks really tight. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and both teams want to play good football. Both teams have big occasion players, so these are the nights you want to be involved in.
Thanks.
Here to the left, second row, please.
Gareth, 12 months ago we were talking to you before a World Cup, obviously, and that went very well. Expectations were low there. They're much higher now. Do you feel that you have to at least reach the final here to feel that the progress is being maintained?
Well, that's what we want to do. There's no point in coming when you're at the semi-final stage and saying, well, we're just here to enjoy it and see how it goes. We all want to come here and win it. So we are progressing as a team. Whatever happens over the next 4 days, we know that the journey we're on and where we're heading ahead of next summer, we're pleased with the progress, but we of course want to start winning things, and we're all hungry for that. So we want to leave here on Sunday with a trophy, and with a nice summer to look forward to for everybody, really.
So let's see if you have a closing question for Raheem and for Gareth. If this is not the case, then thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Gareth Southgate. Thank you, Raheem Sterling. Thank you, everybody. See you.